Gigi Sabat, and you're listening to the Walk With Me podcast. My guest today is Dr. Sujata. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Gigi. It's so wonderful to be here with you.
Likewise, such an honor to have you here today. Now, why don't you start off by telling us a little bit more about you and where are you from, Dr. Sujata?
Sure. Well, I came here with my parents from India to seek a much better life. And as you can see, as you can hear, I have this condition where my vocal cords don't close. And so my father felt like with this genetic condition, he thought that America was the place for me for ample opportunities. And, I just had a father that was so wise, and it was the best decision he ever made. So from India originally, and currently I am the president of the Maryland Career Development Association, the International Committee Chair of the American Counseling Association, and I am the programming co-chair for the Asia Pacific Career Development Association. And I'm here because I just wrote a book and a workbook. And here they are, Activate Success and Activate Success Workbook. I want everybody to live an easier and happier life.
Why?
Why? We went through such an incredible crisis, this world pandemic. It took that pandemic to show us that this world can come together peacefully. I don't want people to scramble in chaos for the next crisis. And mind you, individuals have crises, teams have crises, and companies also have many crises. But the pandemic showed us, Gigi, we just can't go back to the old ways, the old models of doing things how we did prior to the pandemic, because it changed people. It changed so many things in the workplace. After the pandemic, we saw the great resignation. People were leaving the workplace in hordes. Why? Because the values did not match up. Their families were sick. People were dying. Their friends, their neighbors, values shifted. Then after that, society came up with, well, what's the new normal? We have to create a new normal. And that's when I said, I've got to put pen to paper, and I have to help this world get their act together so that we don't end up in such utter chaos for the next crisis. And the way that I start with this book is through self-discovery. Because when you know yourself, you are in a much better place to help others and to lead others.
Very powerful. Now, what does activating success mean to you?
Yes. So activating success means that a person who wants to change, who wants to evolve and grow, it's that person that I'm talking to. And if that person is ready to grow from fixed thinking to growth thinking to perspicacity, then let's talk about how to activate that growth so that you can have success. You see, this world tells us what success is. And for the most part, we have to live by the rules and the norms that have been dictated by society. So I get that. However, time and time again, we see that the material things, the salary, the promotions, the houses, the cars, the furs, the jackets, the purses, the shoes, it's a very momentary happiness. And so what I want people to do is, yes, if that purse makes you happy, buy the purse. But let's go beyond that for fulfillment and inside the heart brain to see, because people are going to just keep looking externally when they really need to look internally for fulfillment and fulfill their purpose and their passion.
Very true. Now, what if someone has a fear of looking internally? What message do you have for that particular individual?
Absolutely. So, this is such a great question. So, life itself, the way that human beings live, is an illusion. And that illusion is what people will base their decisions on and solve their problems on. Now, what does this illusion mean? What I'm talking about is life is about perception, perception, perception. It is us looking at the world. Our brain is judging, it's thinking, it's perceiving, it's doing all these brain functions through our schema. What is schema? Schema is the sum total of your beliefs, your assumptions, and your biases. So right off the bat, if you're living life this way, through your perception only, through your perspective only, it is an illusion. It's not reality, you see. So this book, Activate Success, I give you the tips and the tools and the insights that you need so that you can open up through awareness, through intention. You see, we have to, in the new normal, in the workplace, we cannot just go this way. We have to help each other. We have to embrace different perspectives. That is the new diversity. The new diversity is accept the people around you. Don't make fun of them. Don't be cynical. Don't tattletale on people. Don't run to the manager. We've got to do it differently. You're in there. Be aware that different people have different perspectives and that they too are looking at life through their own perception and their own schema. So you can see how very important self-discovery is. And once you get it, I just want people to get this. Because once you get this, it will change your life. You will be able to improve effective communication, relationships, conflict resolution. And as the chapters go on, I help you through these different constructs so that you can have peaceful relationships at your workplace and in your personal life.
Very powerful statement. And you said we have to help each other. Very true. Now, Dr. Sujata, tell us a little bit more about the major challenge that you face in your life.
Oh, okay. I love this saying. I am just as unique, just like the other 8 billion people on Earth. And it's so true, right? We're all human beings, and we all have our needs, and that's Maslow's hierarchy. And his theory is we all, as human beings, have needs, even though we may come from different cultures. We have different perceptions, or we have different schemas. We are still human beings with the same needs, the biological needs, as well as the psychological needs. But Gigi, we have to start embracing each other, taking a moment to understand each other around the tables. We absolutely do. Retention is such a huge issue for HR. Having those taboo conversations. What's taboo? Let's make it normal. Let's make it natural. Let's accept each other, to be willing to look at each other's perspectives, to dialogue through interculturalism and transculturalism. We've got to get our act together. We have to get it once and for all.
That's very true. Now, Dr. Sujata, thank you for being a guest on the Walk With Me podcast. Where can the audience find you, Dr. Sujata?
Okay, I am on LinkedIn, and I love LinkedIn. I'm also on drsujataives.com. So you can email me, or you can connect with me. The book, both the books here, the workbook and the book, are available on Amazon and Ingram Sparks and Barnes and Noble and Kobo. So you can find it in different places, Walmart, Target. So you can look for it in different places. But it's different. Certainly different book, because it's coming from an immigrant, a female immigrant, and furthermore, a female immigrant with a disability. So there's lots and lots of different topics and constructs that I discuss in this book, and I just hope that you can use it as a resource in your niche.
Very powerful. And you are a very, very powerful woman. You're a powerhouse. Okay. And thank you for sharing the fact that you are an immigrant, and you are a very powerful woman and immigrant as well, right? As you said it there. Dr. Sujata, thank you for being a guest on the Walk With Me podcast.
Sure. Thank you so much, Gigi. I've really enjoyed being with you. I love being your colleague and your friend, and I hope to see you again.
Likewise. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to check out Dr. Sujata on her website and all of her social media platforms. And so her website is drsujataives.com. And Dr. Sujata, thank you again for being a guest on the Walk With Me podcast. God bless you and be safe.